The morning sun barely pierced the steel and glass facade of St. Mercy Hospital, casting a pale light across sterile corridors. Room 308, usually silent and clinical, carried a charged atmosphere. Elena lay paralyzed, her body trapped, but her mind a sharpened weapon, ready for the final move. Sophia Malik was there, calm yet vigilant, reviewing notes, surveillance photos, and timelines with precision. Each detail confirmed what Elena had long suspected. The predator, Dr. Arman, was vulnerable, his control slipping. Tonight, the chessboard would tilt. The hospital hummed with normal activity, oblivious to the silent storm brewing inside one room. Machines beeped steadily, monitors glowed softly, and distant footsteps echoed, but all of it was background noise to the high-stakes psychological war unfolding. Elena's eyes followed every motion. The subtle twitch in her finger, the controlled blink, the minuscule movement of her head, each a signal to Sophia. They had rehearsed this language for weeks. Tonight, observation became action. Dr. Arman entered with calculated calm, mask perfectly in place, but tension rippled beneath the surface. His trained eyes swept the room, noting Elena's awareness, sensing the shift. For the first time, he was wary. "You're alert again," he said smoothly, adjusting her IV. "Recovery depends on cooperation. Sleep is critical." Elena blinked twice, a silent confirmation to Sophia, "I'm ready. We move tonight." Outside, Evelyn Whitmore prepared for the next stage. Her dossier of evidence, financial records, hospital anomalies, emails, and surveillance was complete. Every trace of Dr. Arman's manipulation had been documented. The predator, so confident in his untouchable position, was about to face exposure. Inside room 308, the tension escalated. Sophia discreetly indicated the misplaced vial on the tray, a trace of sedative that could prove fatal if handled improperly. Elena's mind cataloged every detail, angle, fingerprints, timing, dosage, all ready for the final revelation. Dr. Arman's control was fraying. Subtle gestures betrayed him. A hesitated step, a flicker of impatience, a slight misalignment of the syringe. The predator's perfection was slipping, and the prey had noticed every imperfection. Minutes stretched like hours. Elena remained conscious, each breath a silent act of defiance. Sophia watched vigilantly, recording each discrepancy, each microerror. Together, they had become a coordinated force, observing, documenting, and preparing to strike. The hospital corridors remained deceptively quiet. Staff moved about, unaware that the most dangerous game in the building was being played inside room 308. Every beep, every shuffle, every light flicker was a cue in the prelude to confrontation. Then, the first subtle shift. Dr. Arman attempted a routine injection, but the vial's positioning betrayed him. Sophia noted it instantly. Elena blinked once, a signal, "We have leverage now." The predator, for all his skill and cunning, realized that his perfect plan had a critical flaw. The prey was not passive. She had memorized, observed, and calculated. And now, with Sophia as her ally and Evelyn preparing external legal pressure, the balance of power was changing. The final thought before fade: even the most untouchable predator begins to crumble when the prey masters patience, awareness, and strategy. The final act begins. Secrets will be revealed, and no one will leave unchanged. The afternoon sunlight filtered through the tall windows of St. Mercy Hospital, illuminating corridors that had long been silent witnesses to secrets, manipulation, and unspoken fear. Elena lay still in room 308, her body immobile but her mind razor-sharp, scanning every detail, every shadow, every potential move. Sophia Malik hovered nearby, eyes darting between Elena's subtle cues and the meticulous notes she had compiled over weeks. The vial, the logs, the fingerprints, everything had been catalogued. Tonight, preparation became execution. Dr. Arman entered, mask of calm and authority perfectly in place, yet tension betrayed him in the subtle tremor of his hand. He moved methodically, unaware that every calculated motion he made was being recorded, memorized, and exploited. "You're unusually alert today," he murmured smoothly, adjusting her IV. "Rest is crucial. Cooperate and recovery will proceed without complications." Elena blinked once, a silent confirmation to Sophia. "We're ready. Move when the moment comes." The predator moved closer, unaware of the trap forming around him. He reached for a standard sedative syringe, thinking it routine, thinking his dominance unchallenged. But the prey had learned. Sophia's hand hovered subtly, ready to intercept. A micro error. Dr. Arman's glove had a slight smudge of fingerprint, his movement slightly delayed. Sophia's eyes narrowed. This was their opening. Elena's mind raced, calculating timing, spacing, and the precise signals that would allow them to act without alerting the predator prematurely. Outside room 308, Evelyn Whitmore had compiled her final evidence. Bank transfers, shadowed communications, medical anomalies, and the crucial vial that could tie Dr. Arman to Margaret's death. The legal pressure was mounting, and the predator's window of control was shrinking. Inside, tension reached its peak. Elena's eyes followed every inch of Dr. Arman's movements, reading his intent, cataloging every hesitation. Sophia noted each deviation, each misstep, ready to document and expose. The silent rebellion had become a coordinated strike. Then it happened, a sudden distraction. Another nurse entered the hallway, the sound of a dropped tray echoing faintly. Dr. Arman's attention shifted for just a fraction of a second. Enough. Elena blinked twice, a micro-command. Sophia acted instantly, securing the vial, capturing evidence, noting inconsistencies. Every detail, the angle of the syringe, the fingerprints, the misaligned logs, was recorded and confirmed. The predator realized too late. His mask of control faltered, eyes widening slightly. Elena, paralyzed in body but free in mind, had orchestrated his first true challenge. The silent rebellion had struck its first blow. Minutes stretched, but the balance had shifted. Dr. Arman's confidence waned. He sensed, vaguely but unmistakably, that the prey he underestimated had become the orchestrator of events. The final thought before fade. Even the most meticulous predator is exposed when the prey observes with patience, strikes with precision, and refuses to be silenced. The final confrontation is inevitable. When secrets collide with justice, no one escapes unscathed. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows through the hospital corridors, turning every doorway and corner into a potential battlefield. Elena lay in her bed, paralyzed but alert, her mind sharper than ever. Every detail of Dr. Arman's actions, every subtle hesitation, every micro-expression had been logged, memorized, and analyzed over weeks. Sophia Malik moved like a ghost beside her, eyes scanning the room for anything unusual. Clipboard in hand, she reviewed notes, photographs, and CCTV timestamps, her fingers twitching with anticipation. Every tiny movement from Elena was a signal. Every small deviation from Dr. Arman was an opportunity. Dr. Arman entered room 308 with his usual air of calm superiority, though the tension was now visible in the twitch of his fingers and the narrowing of his eyes. His predator's instinct sensed a shift. He was no longer fully in control. "You've been restless again," he said softly, adjusting her IV. "We need cooperation. Sleep is essential for proper recovery." Elena's eyes met his, steady, unwavering. A micro-signal to Sophia. Now, the predator moved toward the syringe, confident that nothing could challenge his dominance. But he miscalculated. Sophia noted the vial's slight misplacement, the subtle fingerprint smudge, the deviation from protocol that even he had failed to notice. Elena's mind orchestrated the next move. Each blink, each twitch of her fingers guided Sophia's actions. Together they were a synchronized force, executing a plan that Dr. Arman could not anticipate. Outside the room, Evelyn Whitmore's team had gathered irrefutable evidence. Bank statements, emails, procurement logs, all pointing to premeditated malpractice and Margaret's death. The predator's fortress of secrecy was crumbling and the walls were closing in. Inside, Elena's awareness was total. She tracked Dr. Arman's movements with surgical precision, predicting every gesture, every hesitation. The predator, sensing pressure, became slightly erratic. A misstep here, a pause there, enough to give the prey the upper hand. Sophia acted, subtly documenting each infraction, each error, and each sign of vulnerability. The vial, the fingerprints, the misaligned logs, all were recorded as undeniable proof. Dr. Arman's facade of control faltered. He could feel the balance of power slipping, yet he still believed he could recover it. Every instinct screamed caution, but pride and overconfidence held him in place. Then, the silent strike. A subtle movement by Elena signaled Sophia to secure the critical vial. Evidence was now tangible. Dr. Arman's meticulous planning had cracks and the prey exploited them flawlessly. The tension in the room reached a crescendo. Every breath, every sound, every heartbeat was amplified. The predator was cornered and the prey was poised for the next decisive move. The final thought before fade, even the most cunning predator collapses when the prey observes, strategizes, and strikes with unyielding precision. The ultimate revelation is coming. Justice will no longer wait in the shadows. The courtroom was silent, heavy with anticipation, the kind of silence that presses against your chest and makes every heartbeat thunder. Elena, once paralyzed and trapped, now sat in a specially reinforced chair, her body fragile but her mind razor-sharp, ready to face the predator one last time. Sofia Malik hovered near her, calm but vigilant. All the evidence they had meticulously gathered, the fingerprints, the vials, the logs, and the surveillance, was now organized, undeniable, and ready for presentation. Every micro-movement, every observation, every subtle infraction by Dr. Arman would be exposed. Dr. Arman sat across the courtroom, mask of arrogance and control intact, but his eyes betrayed the storm brewing inside. He could feel the walls closing in, the carefully constructed illusion of dominance crumbling around him. "You may proceed," the judge said, her gavel silent but commanding, signaling the moment of truth. Elena's voice trembled slightly as she began to speak, but her words were sharp, deliberate, and full of the weight of lived experience. She recounted the months of surveillance, the subtle irregularities she had witnessed, the vial placement, the fingerprints, and the suspicious injections. The courtroom gasped. Dr. Arman's carefully cultivated credibility was under siege. Every lawyer, every observer, every family member of the victims leaned forward, sensing the gravity of the revelations. Sofia, with precise timing, presented the collected evidence. The vial, clearly labeled but mishandled, fingerprints intact. The surveillance footage capturing every subtle interaction, the medical logs showing the deviations that had endangered lives, all converged to expose the predator's calculated crimes. Dr. Arman's mask finally slipped. His eyes widened in disbelief, realizing that no manipulation, no intimidation, no money could erase the truth now laid bare before the world. Evelyn Whitmore, the relentless investigator, presented the financial evidence linking Dr. Arman to premeditated malpractice and Margaret's death. The pattern of greed, deception, and manipulation became undeniable. The judge leaned forward, her gaze sharp. "Dr. Arman, do you deny these actions?" Silence. The predator could not respond without condemning himself further. His defenses had crumbled. Elena, still in her chair, felt a strange calm wash over her. The months of fear, planning, and silent observation had led to this moment. Justice was finally within reach. Dr. Arman was escorted out, the courtroom buzzing with murmurs of disbelief and relief. Elena's voice, once suppressed by her paralysis, had orchestrated the downfall of a predator, exposing the truth and reclaiming agency over her life. As the gavel fell, the final thought resonated in everyone present. Even the most cunning predator cannot survive when patience, observation, and unwavering determination converge with truth. Outside the courtroom, sunlight bathed Elena, Sofia, and Evelyn in a warm glow. The battle was over. Justice had prevailed. The once powerless had become powerful, and the predator was finally unmasked. The final scene lingered on Elena's face, strong, defiant, and free. She had not only survived but had turned her imprisonment into a weapon of truth, ensuring that the darkness could never return.